Hello, everybody. Today I'm talking about the triple retrograde event of 2020 and specifically talking about Venus. Venus is going to retrograde entirely in Taurus. It is in dignity. What can we expect? And specifically, what is its effect on the financial markets? Hello, I'm Komilla Sutton, and I'm sitting by the roses in my back garden and beautiful spring evening and talking about Venus. And just reminding you to subscribe, press the bell notification. I am always posting twice a week at least, and so you don't want to miss it. Thank you. Let's talk about Venus retrograde. Venus is in dignity in its own sign, but as it turns retrograde, it is not going to take a long time like Saturn to slow down and then retrograde. And it is a benefic planet, so its retrograde is not a negative energy, but at the time that it's about to turn retrograde, that is what we need to watch a lot. That as it goes retrograde, and it is also part of that 3-event retrograde. So it will slow down. It is already very slow as I'm recording, and it gets slower and slower, and it will start retrograding on 13th of May. It's retrograde. It is going to move from evening star to morning star. So what happens with Venus is that when it combusts with the sun, goes close to the sun, then it moves its direction. So it will be visible early morning, just before sunrise. It's a very prominent planet in Venus, so this transition is also very important for us to study. And the thing about Taurus as well as Venus is that they represent finances and money, and it's turning retrograde can have an effect on the financial markets. And it can also have effect on finances. I think everybody is having to deal with some finances and financial issues. So it is very important that around the 2 retrograde timings, so from about 13th of May, that means 11th, 12th, 13th, you take care not making any decisions, even 14th. And then the other side when it is going to go direct. And this Venus is not totally straightforward, the conjunction, because it is going to have a war with Mercury, then it is going to be combust. And so those are the 2 important events that will take place, although Venus will not conjoin with any other malefic planet. I would say that the first most important thing about Venus retrograde is to watch the effect it has on finances, on financial markets. Normally, I've seen that it can, whatever direction it's taking, it can create an opposite direction of that. So we have to be conscious around that time, and then also our own finances that we are taking care of. On 22nd of May, Venus goes into war with Mercury. Mercury is also moving very fast because it's near the sun, and it doesn't stop for a long war. So it just that day, you could say it's a skirmish rather than a war. And Mercury is intellect and ideas, so thinking. So this conjunction can be a little bit creating obstacles because it makes us feel that our thinking is not right, or we want to do something, and especially thinking a lot about finances. And also Venus is relationships. So that may be another area that you may think about during this Venus-Mercury conjunction. The main aspect of this conjunction is that Venus is going to be combust as it shifts from an evening star to a morning star. And this shift is quite important. You'll see it in the morning, but it is also combusting the sun. That means it goes behind the sun, and it will be on 3rd of June when it is in its exact combustion. But what you have to think about is that Mercury will be going behind the sun. So it is burnt out. It needs some extra energy while it goes towards the sun. It's sort of always considered like a birth and rebirth of Venus. It's called Ast, but Venus combustion is only 8 degrees. So Venus combusts late in May, and then by 8th of June, the combustion is over, because it's the orb of combustion is very short. So it isn't a long combustion, and just to watch out for it. And this timing also can be complex as far as finances are concerned, but also regarding relationships. So watch for both those. And this is for everybody, not anybody specific, because that Venus is Karaka for finance and for marriage and all good things in life. So when it is having some difficulty, then you are feeling on those areas. How you deal with it, cope with it, all depends on your individual charts. Venus, also the retrograde Venus, can affect relationships, personal relationships, because Venus is Karaka for marriage, it is Karaka for wife, and general relationships, any serious relationships you have. So during the retrograde phase, and especially that event that takes place on the May 10th to 15th, that you are being conscious of it, because too many factors are there. So this is not a good time to make any decision. And Venus retrograde is not a good time to get married. So just be careful that if you've already chosen the date, you can't change it. But generally, that is not the best time to plan a marriage, because the significator of marriage is difficult. Then Venus will be retrograde, and 25th of June, when Venus goes direct, then that would be the other time that we are being careful. And normally for choosing marriage dates, we avoid choosing Venus retrograde. If you can help it, you have to choose the other side of it, not during the retrograde period. So how does it affect you? Firstly, it's a benefic planet. So it has a different quality. Retrograde benefics are very strong and generally strong to do good. But because the dates, the day it turns retrograde, it goes direct, you have to be cautious. And as I told you, that finances and marriage, it's not a good time to perform marriage during the retrograde phase. And I find that so many people ignore this. But if you are studying Jyotish and interested in Vedic astrology, it is important to remember this rule. Signs, I'm talking about ascendant and moon sign. So be conscious of it. For Aries, Venus rules your second house of money, and it is placed there, and 7th house of relationships. So you are actually dealing with both the issues. Partners can be awkward, finances can be center stage. So it is a good idea to not make any major decisions. Although Venus being there means financially you will be quite okay, but there can be disagreement or argument about it. So try to avoid that. Taurus, it is your ascendant ruler. So that is where the prominent aspect is. Wherever the planet is placed, that house becomes more dominant. And for you, it is a good transit. Venus is there for such a long time, but you should watch all the 4 things that I've said. The start of the retrograde, 22nd as the war with Mercury, and then the combustion of Venus, which is from the end of May and to beginning of June, 8th of June. Especially combustion means that you're a bit burnt out, you need a bit rest and relaxation. And then the end of the transit as we go into the uh, direct motion. And I feel that the other thing important for Taurus is that you need to think about what has happened in the last 2 years, because retrograde means you have to think about it, process it, let it go. Gemini, Venus is in the 12th house. Good time to make a donation. It's not the best position for you. It's not your ascendant ruler, so its retrograde is something that is happening. Watch out for expenses. And a benefic in the 12th house always is good for spiritual things. So think about spirituality and watch the retrogrades the day it happens and the day it goes direct. Cancer, Venus rules the 11th house of finances. So it's placed in this moment, and 4th house is home. So you're thinking home and finances. Those are the two areas. But finances are more dominant because that is where Venus itself is placed. So it's pointing you to that area. And it is more about earnings. And Venus in Taurus normally would give a lot of earnings, but the retrograde time, there can be some obstacle or some difficulty regarding earnings. Profit is not coming as the way you want, but don't worry about it. Take your time. Watch out for the combustion, although combustion can bring money for you because Sun rules your second house, and it can be, but still don't take any risks, I would say. That is important with your finances. Leo, this is about your professional life, career. Venus is in the 10th house, and especially around that event, 10th to 15th event, you have to be careful. There can be some awkward questions. There can be sudden block regarding career, but opportunities are there. As long as you watch out for all the 4 timings that I've given, and then the start of retrograde and the end of retrograde. Virgo, Venus is 9th lord, very well placed for you, giving you opportunities, thinking. As it goes retrograde, then be careful about the advice you get at that time, because you may get some contradictory advice. And for you, that Mercury-Venus conjunction on 22nd of May, that is your ascendant or moon ruler and the 9th house ruler. So just be conscious of it. There can be some friction. It could be also just inner friction, that your thinking and ideas and what you want to do are obstructed. Venus also rules the second house of money. So financial things you need to be extra conscious about. Libra, Venus is your ascendant ruler, but it's placed in the 8th house. 8th house is unexpected events. 8th house is transformation, change. It can also bring some bonus, unexpected money to you, but it can also be destabilizing. And especially the 2 retrogrades, the retrograde and the direct movement. That is what I wanted to say, that you watch out for them. And this is not the easiest transit for you. So try to keep your balance and harmony. Scorpio, Venus rules your 7th house, relationships. It's placed there. Also your 12th house of money. But relationships will be more dominant, and the partners may not feel very supportive. There can be some awkward moments with them, especially around the time Venus retrogrades, around 13th of May, that retrograde event, and then on the direct motion of Venus. So, cut them some space, let them be. If they are not reacting to you the way you want, because as astrologers, we should understand when the energy is a bit disturbed. Sagittarius, Venus is not the best planet for you. It rules your 6th house and 11th house. 11th house is finances. but it's placed in the sixth house of obstacles and difficulties. So you may find that some difficulty with female co-workers or female people, whether you're a man or a woman, you can, because Venus represents women, it can mean that there are obstacles for you to deal with. And even though sometimes it seems it's easy because Venus is not a malefic planet, something quite easy will block you. I would say it's a good time to do some selfless service, make some donation, karma yoga. Giving back to society would be good. Capricorn, Venus is a very good planet for you. It rules your fifth house and your 10th house. Many opportunities, good luck, but retrograde time, you need to be careful. Fifth house is children, creativity, creative ideas. You may find that at the exact moment of retrograde, some idea you have doesn't work out. So you may need to redo it. All it's telling you is that there is some time. You haven't totally worked it out fully, and wait till Venus goes direct and everything will start flowing again. And also the combustion of Venus, you can feel some unexpected energy coming your way. I would just be cautious about the combustion as well. Aquarius, Venus rules your fourth house and it rules your ninth house. So it's a very good planet for you. It is placed in the fourth house. So that is home, happiness, positive aspect for you. And so it gives many opportunities and you'll feel happy with it. So just watch out for the retrograde and especially advise you're getting at the time of the retrograde 13th and then when it goes direct around 25th. Pisces, Venus is not the best planet for you. It rules the 8th house and 3rd house. 3rd house is self-effort. 8th house is transformation, change. But Venus will be in your 3rd house of self-effort. So this time, just take care. Don't be in a rush to do anything. Just take care. And especially between 10th to 15th, when Venus turns retrograde and Jupiter, your ruling planet, also turns retrograde. So you may change your mind, you may change your ideas about what you want to do. So that is important aspect. So that is it for Venus, and I will do Jupiter soon. So watch out for that and do remember to subscribe. Thank you.